Good morning, Team Impact. How are we doing today? We are getting ready to move on to our next unit, rates and percents. So if you're watching this video, welcome. So you just got a new packet today. This is the key. But anyway, let's go ahead and flip it open to the first page here and just get an introduction to this. This is another, actually, this unit builds off of the last one, which was ratios. So ratios, rates, and percents are all connected, and we're going to have to be on top of our game here. Okay. All right. So this first part, I'm just going to kind of take a look at it and make sure that you're in good shape. But let's practice finding rates. Take your first and second fingers and put them on your pulse or your wrist. And we're not going to do this on your neck. But when time begins, silently count the number of beats in 1 minute. Record your result below. Okay. Well, in 1 minute, all right, I probably have 65 beats, right? So my ratio would be 65 to 1. And you can go ahead and count yours if you want, if you're on the video at home. And my rate is 65 beats per 1 minute. So it's all the same thing. But again, this is a special rate because this is a unit rate because it's over 1. It's over 1. Okay. So on the next one, let's make up a. So let's say somebody was working out. In 1 minute, they just got done running a mile. Now their beats might be 150 beats per minute. Our ratio is 150 to 1. And if we wrote that out in words, it would be 150 beats per 1 minute. 1 minute. Okay. Not going to worry about that so far. All right. All right. Why is it beneficial to determine the rate of each person? All right. Then we can compare. We have the same denominator. See, if I'm working out, I'm at 150. If I'm resting, it's at 65. And yours could be a little bit different, certainly. All right. But it's easier to compare. All ready? Okay. Let's get moving on. All righty, here, let me get situated here a little bit. A rate is a ratio that describes the comparison by division, right? A fraction is a fancy way to write a division problem. Division of two quantities with different units. Example, total miles per, total miles per total hours, total meters per total seconds. And you'll see how this fits in. A unit rate describes the amount per one. Amount per one. Unit rate's always over one, or when the denominator is one. So anytime we have it over one, it's a unit rate. It's per unit. We talked about that back in our ratios unit because it made life easier. I just went right to it and kind of skipped ahead because there was no reason to teach something different. Tasha earns $162 for 12 hours. Okay. So the rate is $162 for 12 hours, right? Well, what are we doing in 1 hour? And I'm going to go ahead and put it over 1. So essentially, to find unit rate, we take the top number and divide it by the bottom number, right? And when we take 162 and divide it by 12, and you're certainly welcome to use your calculator here, we get $13.50 per what? Hour. Per hour. And that is a unit rate. And I'm not going to write it again, right? So to get that again, I took the top number, and let me grab my calculator here. Okay. I took the top number, 162, and I just divided it by what? By the bottom, which is 12. And I got $13.50 per hour. Both of these were divided by 12 to get that unit rate. Important. Number 2, an electric scooter will travel 15 miles on a 2-hour charge. So it's going to go 15 miles on 2 hours. Well, what's it going to go in 1 hour? What is it per unit? right? So this is a mental one. Divided by 2 is 1. 15 divided by 2 is, do you know? 7.5 miles per hour. And again, calculator will do it, not a big deal. If you need it, and there you'll see it. But anytime we can do things mentally, we want to do it. And unit rate, always over 1. Okay? Always over 1. All right, not too bad so far. Let's flip it over and take a peek at the next page here. All right, on the next page, we're going to do more of the same. We're going to set up a ratio. We're going to write it as a rate, okay? And then we're going to get our unit rate. Sam can do 120 jumping jacks in 2 minutes. Our ratio is 120 to 2. Our rate is just labeling that ratio, right? 120 jumping jacks in what? 2 minutes. Our unit rate is when we put that over 1. We divide both of those by 2. So 120 divided by 2 is 60 jumping jacks in 1 minute. In 1 minute. So we have a ratio, which is what we did last, and then we wrote it as a rate. We just labeled those, and then we wrote it as a unit rate. And again, this can be written like this, and we could also use the word to. A large plane cruises 530 miles per hour. All right, well, they're making it pretty easy. 530 miles, 1 hour. 530 miles, label it, 1 hour. It's already in a unit rate because it's over 1. So I'm just going to go like that, right? That is a unit rate. Okay. I could scale it up and go to 2 hours or 3 hours or 4 hours or 100 hours. It doesn't matter. But that is a unit rate. Number or letter C, a babysitter gets paid $60 for 4 hours. So it's 60 to 4. $60. Remember, when you write a ratio, always put your money on the top to 4 hours. Now, what are we getting paid per hour? That's important because when you're figuring out your money, you want to know what you're getting paid per hour. 1 hour, all right, divided by 4. 60 divided by 4. Well, let's use our calculator. Most of you probably know that it is 15, and there it proves it. So 60 divided by 4 is 15. $15 per hour. That's a pretty good wage, right? So if you work 2 hours, you're getting 30. If you work 4 hours, you're getting 60. If you work 10 hours, you're getting what? 150, right? So you just scale both of those up according to it. Unit rate, unit rate, unit rate. They're all unit rates because why? They're over 1. All right. Let's take a look at these. All right, so we got some information here. We got a boat, we got a plane, we got a bike. We got all a bunch of rates here because they're labeled and they're written out. So how many miles can a plane travel in 1 hour? Well, a plane is going 2320 in 4 hours. What's it going in 1 hour? Take that, simply divide it out, right? 2320 divided by 4 is 580. Bang. 580 miles in 1 hour. And it didn't say, to write it as a unit rate, but I'm going to go ahead and leave it like that. How many miles can a bicyclist travel in 1 hour? In 1 hour. So if we can go 153 miles in 9 hours, what are we going in 1 hour? All right, so we're going to divide both of those by 9. 153 divided by 9. And you see. So it's 17 miles. And I'm just going to leave it as the unit rate. Makes life easy, doesn't it? In an hour period, how much further can a boat travel than a bike? Well, we know a bike can go 17 miles an hour. A boat goes 408 miles in 6 hours. But what's it doing in 1 hour, right? So let's figure that out, and then we're going to continue on, right? So we go 408 divided by 6, and you'll see that it's 68, 68 miles. But how much further can it go than that? So we just take 68 minus the 17, right? And we're going to end up with what? 51 miles. But that's how much further the boat goes than the bike. Okay. All right. Let's finish up here. Brody and Cameron earn extra money by mowing lawns. Brody earns $90 for 6. Cam earns 52 for 4. Who earns more money per hour? All right, so Brody, here's Brody. Brody's getting $90, 6 hours. What's he getting in 1 hour? Well, let's figure that out, right? Let's take 90 and divide it by 6. He's getting $15. Pretty good money. All right, and then we have brother Cam. We'll put a C there for Cam, right? And he's making 52 in 4 hours. What's he making in 1 hour? So grab your calculator again, right? Take 52 and divide it by 4. And what do we get? 13. So Cam is making $13 per hour. So who earns more money? Brody. He makes $2 more an hour. Important, Brody. Okay. All right. Good stuff here. Last one. If you want to pause the video, go ahead and do it. All right. Using the table below, determine the unit rate of pies per minute in the contest, right? So, interesting. Pies per minute at a pie eating contest. So how many pies are you eating per minute? All right. So we have to be careful here. They want to know the number of pies, and they've got these flipped around. So really, I'm doing 18 pies in 4 minutes. We want to know what we're doing in 1 minute. They got a little tricky on us. They flipped it around on us. So all I do is flip it back, right? Because when I write unit rate, all right, the 1 is always on the bottom. It's per unit. So now we grab our calculator, and we're going to take 18 and divide it by 4. And we get 4.5 minutes, all right, 4.5 pies per 1 minute. Okay. Questions? In good shape? All right. Well, anyway, it was a good start. It's good to be back. Anyway, let's flip the page over here and take a peek at the next page. This is your homework. Make sure that it's labeled correctly, because I will be looking at that closely. And we don't have school tomorrow. And we do have con done due for Friday, so make sure you get it done. Have a good day.